What's going on, guys? Your boy Amazing here, back with another video, and in today's video, guys, we are here with the should you summon for the brand new Black Knight Pellegarde. In today's video, guys, we're going to be going over the banner details, we're going to be going over who's featured, and we're going to be going over the actual kit of Pellegarde and letting you guys know whether or not I think it's going to be worth summoning for. So if you guys do enjoy videos like this, man, definitely make sure to hit that like button and subscribe, as we are on the road to that 52,000 subscribers. I definitely do appreciate the support on the channel, guys. And with that out of the way, man, let's hop in and let's talk the kit of Pellegarde first, and then we'll go into his banner. So hopping into the kit of the Burning Spirit Black Knight Pellegarde, so he's going to be a red attribute, human race, and SSR rarity, and for his passive, it's going to be active in all content on the field. Increases human allies basic stats by 5% for each one participating in the battle. At the start of the battle, 2 Hellbrand effects are applied on all enemies for 3 turns, and Hellbrand is going to be damage taken plus 20% and damage dealt minus 20%, and inflict additional damage equal to 10% of the target's remaining HP when the effect is removed due to skills, uniques, commandments, or elapsed turns, and it's going to stack up to 3 times. Now, applies Hellbrand for 3 turns on enemies that take damage from the hero's all target attack, and decreases human allies damage taken by 5% for each Hellbrand applied to enemies at a limit of 10 times. And when the hero uses a single target attack other than their ultimate move to deal damage to an enemy with the max Hellbrand skills or Hellbrand stacks, 1 buff is going to be removed from that target. And when the hero uses a single target attack other than their ultimate move to deal damage to an enemy, all Hellbrand effects are removed from the target. And the hero's damage taken decreases by 1% for every 1% of remaining HP. So yeah, I mean, a lot going on in that passive right there, guys. You can definitely see, though, that, you know, there's some buff kind of counter right now for the meta, considering the meta right now with, you know, Hell and King and Diane and all that. King and Diane having the damage happen and Hell having the, you know, the retrogression. You know, having some type of buff strip is going to be really nice, and being able to do it with Hellbrand, I think, is really good. So yeah, just based on the passive alone, seems like a really, really good PvP character. Now, moving over to these skills here, guys, we have the first skill here, Destroyer's Mace. Inflicts Pyro Clash damage equal to 500% of attack on one enemy. Pyro Clash is going to be 2 times critical chance, plus 50% critical damage dealt for each Hellbrand effect on the target. So yeah, obviously, you know, for the scaling, we don't necessarily know yet, but it's a 500% of attack at the rank 3. Now, moving on to the next skill here, we have a weak point AoE, so inflicts weak point damage equal to 185% of attack on all enemies, and weak point is going to be 3 times damage against debuffed enemies, guys. So again, we do not know the scaling for this card, but you know, it is going to be pretty much a standard AoE weak point. Now, moving on to the ultimate here, guys. For the ultimate, Pyre applies 3 Hellbrand effects on all enemies for 3 turns, then inflicts Pyro Clash damage equal to 850% of attack on one enemy. Hellbrand is going to be damage taken again minus or plus 20% and damage dealt minus 20%, and inflicts additional damage equal to 10% of the target's remaining HP when the effect is removed due to skills, uniques, commandments, or elapsed turns. And then Pyro Clash is going to be 2 times critical chance plus 50% critical damage dealt for each Hellbrand effect on the target. And something to note about this character as well is that this character is not really dupe dependent, guys. You can see that the only scaling here on the ultimate is actually the percent of attack right here. So you can see from 1 out of 6 it's at 600%, and at 6 out of 6 is just 850%. So it's about 200% in terms of the actual percent on the attack damage dealing. Alright, guys, so now that we've covered the kit of the brand new Black Knight Pellegarde, let's actually go over the banner now, and I'll let you guys know whether or not I think it's worth summoning based on the character kit information we talked about and who's going to be featured on the banner. Now, one thing to actually take into account about this banner, though, guys, is when you reach 600 loyalty points, you can select and acquire the SSR hero you want, including the new hero. So the way this is going to work is once you do get to the very end of the pity, you actually can select any of the characters on the banner, excluding Blue Tristan, Green Oslo Hawk, and Garrod. So pretty much every other character that's on the banner from Infinity Merlin all the way to Pellegarde, you have a chance at actually selecting at that point. So you could either select Pellegarde, maybe you pulled him a bunch on the banner as you got to your 600, maybe you select Angelhod, or maybe you select Nasians. It's really up to you guys. That's the pretty nice thing about this banner, though, is they let you pick from any of the characters that are featured, that are the good ones as well. You know, Garrod, Hawk and Oslo, and Tristan, I don't even think are that crazy. So missing out on them, but being able to pick any of the other characters, I think is pretty good across the board. Now, in terms of the actual, like, characters that we have featured alongside Pellegarde, you have Angelhod, you have the red Jormungand, you have green Nasians, Light Percival, the red Sariel, you have Summer Diane, and then you have the blue Infinity Merlin. And again, these are the only ones that you can select at the 600. And then you have green Garrod, you have green Oslo and Hawk, and in blue Tristan as well. So overall, guys, I mean, considering the banner itself, I mean, it's a pretty good banner. Like, if I had to go through and talk about the really bad characters here, we would say, you know, Summer Diane at this point, you know, everyone has Summer Diane, so she's kind of just a dead unit, right? It would just be dupes at that point. Same with also in Hawk. I feel like a lot of people have this character at this point. Same with Garad, same with Tristan, but I feel like the rest of the character lineup here, guys, is pretty good. You know, Green Nasians, you have Infinity Merlin, Red Jormungand, you know, Angahad, you have the Red Sariel, fairly recent character, you have the Light Percival. So I think all the other characters on the banner, I think, are very desirable. And if you are summoning on this banner, you're really looking for, you know, picking up Pellegarde and maybe some of these other, you know, kind of, you know, sought after characters here, right? And especially if you're someone that's missing Red Jormungand and you have the opportunity to be able to actually pick her at the 600, this could be a way where you're able to pull for Pellegarde while being able to kind of pity another character along the way, being, you know, Red Jormungand, if you're just not able to get her any other way. So this is a really good banner across the board, guys. Now the thing is this going to be a better banner than the banner that we have already in the game with the 6th-year anniversary, you know, King and Diane banner? That's a really tough thing to say. I would say across the board, like, King and Diane's banner is going to be better just because of all the value that that banner is going to provide. Like, we can actually pull it up again, but the value that King and Diane's banner provides, like, at all, really, like, if we're comparing it to, you know, that banner right there with Pellegarde, I think the banner is hard to, you know, like, not summon on this, you know what I mean? Like, if we actually go to the filler on this, you have 5 UR festivals, you have Eller Brunhilde's on the banner as well, you have some other festivals featured, and then you do have Nasians, which is on this banner, you do have Light Percival, which is on this banner still, Blue Merlin is also on this banner. So when you're thinking about summoning on that new banner, the main characters that you're going to be seeing that you're like, okay, I probably want to pick up from this banner exclusively would be, you know, Angahad, you have Red Jormungand, and then maybe Red Sariel. Like, those are the 3 characters that are not actually on King and Diane's banner, so you actually have, you know, a chance at actually picking them up on this banner alongside Pellegarde. So in my opinion, guys, do I think this banner is going to be worth summoning for the most part? I would say you probably want to skip out on this banner, and the main reason I say this is because even though the filler is really good, you just summoned on King and Diane, so you probably have already spent a lot of your gems already, and it's a thing of, like, if you have enough for this banner itself, like, if you have enough for that 600 pity, I actually do think it could be a viable option, especially if you're missing Red Jormungand, especially if you're missing, like, you know, Red Sariel here or Angahad. Like, picking up those characters along the way, or even pitying them and then you get Pellegarde along the way, I think is both really good. So yeah, and then again, like, Pellegarde as a unit, if we were looking for a character that's gonna kind of counter the buff kind of, you know, centered meta that we have right now, where there's a lot of characters with buff. There's, you know, you have like Hell with retrogression, you have King and Diane now with their suppressed damage taken, so there's just a bunch of things like that. And if you want to actually stop that, I mean, Pellegarde's only going to be able to do it just by using an AoE, because at the start of the battle, 2 Hellbrand effects are applied to all enemies, and then you get a 3rd one when using an all target attack. So if you just AoE turn 1 and then you follow up single target, you're actually going to get that 1 buff removed from the target. So yeah, I mean, I think across the board, it's going to be a pretty good character in the meta. And yeah, I mean, if you're looking at it like, okay, I think I can pick up Pellegarde and I can maybe get Red Jormungand for my rat team or things like that, then I definitely see this as being a pretty valuable banner. Other than that though, guys, I think this is just a pretty easy skip. Continue to summon on King and Diane's banner. That banner is the best banner we've ever had at this point. And again, it's really up to you, because it comes down to these like 3 other characters here that are featured. So being like Red Jormungand, Angahad, and then Red Sariel. Those are the only other characters that I would say are like exclusively here on this banner, whereas like all the other characters are either on King and Diane's banner or just not really desirable. So yeah, make that decision on your own, guys, in terms of who you think you need for your account. But I would just say overall, you probably don't need to summon on this, and you can skip and save your gems. So that's going to be it for the video. I hope you guys did enjoy. Let me know what you guys are going to be doing in the comment section below. Will you be summoning on the banner? Are you guys skipping? Comment down below all that in the comments, and yeah, I mean, let me know. So that's gonna be it for the video. I hope you guys did enjoy, and I'm gonna see you guys on the next one, man. Peace out. Have a great rest of your day, guys. See you later, man.